Hello everyone, in this video we will see the concept of slicing. And slicing is used to read a particular sequence from a string. Okay. And this slicing contains three numbers. So that is start, end and step. Okay. This start indicates from which position we are going to start. And this end indicates at which position we are going to stop. And step indicates how many positions we are going to jump. So this step indicates how many positions we are going to jump. All these three numbers are optional. Okay. So if you omit start, so the default value is 0. Okay. So that is start of the string. And if you omit end, the default value is the last character. And if you omit step, the default value is 1. So if you omit any of these numbers, then it will take the default value automatically. Okay. And one more thing you have to note that start is inclusive and end is exclusive. So that is, if we are going to read from 0 to 4, starting is 0, ending is 4. So 0 is counted, but 4 is not counted. 4 is exclusive. So technically we are reading from 0 to 3. So this is upper bound and this is lower bound. So you have to include lower bound and you have to exclude upper bound. And step size is 1 by default and you can give any value for this step. And now we will take some examples so that we get familiar in this concept of slicing. Okay, so if I give a of 0 colon, this is full colon, this is not semicolon. So 0 full colon, and if you give 5, so now what happens? So first we will see what is the value of start, what is the value of end and what is the value of step. Okay, so 0 is the value of start, 5 is the value of end and step we didn't give. So I told you all these three numbers are optional. So if you don't give, the default value of step is 1. So the default value of step is 1. And then 0 is included, 5 is not included. So you have to take from 0 to 4. So now let us take the index 0. So that is, this is the index 0 and this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so you will get the value hello as the output. So now I am going to print a of, so to do slicing you have to open square bracket and I am going to give 0 colon 5. Okay, see, you are getting the output as hello. So now let me change the value. So instead of 5 I am going to give -3. So that means starting is 0. So h is starting and -3 is the stop value. Okay, so this is -1, -2 and -3. So r is -3 and this is not included. So till O you are going to read. So this should be the output. So let us run this code and you can see the output for this particular slicing. Okay, so now let me include the value for step. So step size is 2. So now what happens? Okay, so first I am going to read H and I am going to skip 2 characters. So H to E is 1, E to L is 2. So the next character I am going to read is L. Okay, so again I am going to jump 2 characters. So L to L is 1, L to O is 2. So I am going to get O also in the output. Okay, so likewise it goes on till this particular R. Okay, so since it is not included, it will stop with this R. Okay, so let us see the output. So you can see H, L, O, W. Okay, so H, L, O and W. Okay, we are skipping 2 characters. So that is because we have given 2 as step size. So now I am going to give like this. So what happens? Okay, so here I didn't give any value for start, I didn't give any value for end, and I didn't give any value for step. So that means for all these 3 numbers, default value will be considered. So I am going to read the entire string. So that is the meaning of this one. Okay, so start value is first character, end value is the end of the string, and step size is 1. So if you print like this, you will get the entire string as the output. So let's take example A of -2, -10, -1. Okay. So now the start value is -2. So that means, so this particular thing is starting value, and end value is -10, and this one is -10. Okay. So this is not included. So you know end is exclusive. So it stops at this L. And step size is -1. So we are going in reverse direction. So this is the meaning. So -1 means we are going in reverse direction. So starting from L, we are going to read in reverse direction to this particular L. Okay, so this is the meaning of this -1. So let us see in the code what happens. So you can see it starts from this L, okay, and it stops at this L, and the direction of reading is in reverse direction. So this is what happens when you give step size as -1. Now in order to reverse a string, what you have to do is, there is a simple way, just you have to give like this. So that is, starting is this first character and ending is the end of the string. So now we are going to read the string in reverse direction. So you will get the entire string in reverse form. So let us see. The output is the string in reverse direction. So now instead of -1, if you give -2, what happens? So we are going to read this D, and it jumps 2 characters. D to L is 1 character, L to R is second character. Okay, so D, R, W, O, L and H. So this is the output that will be printed for this particular slicing. And one thing you have to note when you are using indexing and you are using slicing. So that is, when you are using indexing, you will give only one number. Okay. And when you are using slicing, you will use like this. You will use a colon. So when you use a colon, it indicates that you are using a slicing. So without this colon, if you give just a number, it means that you are going to read only one character. You are not going to generate any sequence. And the one more difference is, when you are using indexing, you have to give only valid index. For example, so the length of the string is 11 characters. So that means the valid index is 0 to 10 or -1 to -11. Okay, so these ranges are only valid characters. So if you give an invalid character, what happens? So if you give 18, okay, so now this 18th index is not present in the string. So you will get an error if you try to execute this line. Okay, but in slicing, even if you give indexing out of the range, so there will be no error. So in that case, it will return an empty string. Okay, so let's run this code and see, there is an empty string printed. Okay, so there is no error but a